Welcome. In front of me I have this, which I guess you read it like a triple iiiF150. That's literally the brand, not even the model of the phone. So the phone I have here is the Air 2 Ultra, and I am going to be very kind of confused about this device. This is the first time I'm seeing the brand, first time I'm seeing this phone, and furthermore, the branding, not the best. The phone, nowhere is it written, as far as I can tell, what the device in here is. So you have to figure it out based on pictures. So that's a bit confusing decision. Like, cool, you put that name at the back of your brand. Then you have ultra thin rugged. That font also is just atrocious. Then we got again brand on the side, on the front, on the back. Nowhere is it stating what the model of the phone I got, but okay. So anyway, let's just pop it open and just tear into this one, because tear into it. I'm still very confused if this is a good device or not. So like I said, I am going to be very confused about this one. So presentation wise, I do have to say it's pretty nice. It looks like the brand is trying to go for the flashy kind of aesthetic of the device, but it's lacking in the other departments to be flashy. So here we got some instructions, and again, the world's shittiest font I have ever seen for a phone. I'm not 15. If you're buying this device, you're probably not 15 either. This is something that a child would find interesting, not an adult. I can't even tell what's actually written on here. Next we have GNA, 65 watt charger. That's pretty good. Now on camera this isn't very visible. Maybe I can get it to somehow show up, but this is semi-transparent. Let me grab my phone. I'm trying to bring out my flashlight. Hello, flashlight. There we go. Will it be visible? Can't really. You can kind of see it. Let me just. Not sure if. Okay, oh, there we go. You can kind of see the reflection of the PCB right now. So all these like dots that are showing, that's basically the PCB. This is a darker kind of frosted glass right here. Or frosted, or like just tinted dark. Not even glass though. This is plastic. But you can see a little bit through it, which is a pretty neat kind of idea. You can see a bit more internals right here. Instead of the PCB, you have some resistors, capacitors, and stuff like that. So yeah, I do have to say it's interesting. Then we got a pretty nice braided cable right here. So again, it does seem a bit flashy and nice as an inclusion right here. So dropping back in here if I can, there we go. Let's move over to the device. That's where the flashiness kind of seems just to be flashy. Taking out the phone, you just seen it gets stuck in here for no freaking reason. So that's a bit annoying. So there's the device. Oh, there it is. Air 2 Ultra. I found the brand. Next we have a screen protector, a tempered glass for our device, along with the wet and dry wipes included. And that's about it. So let's move over to the device. I'm gonna peel that off. There we go. I'm not sure why there is a smudge on here, if this is a new device, but okay. And let's boot it up. Now, like I said, the device seems flashy, again, rugged and dead by the looks of it, because it's not booting up. Yep. Right. Love it. Okay, let's plug it in. Sign of life. There we go. I just felt a vibration. So soon enough we should have a display. Or not. Come on. You literally vibrated. Hello? Anyone home? Again, vibration and no sign of life. Okay, so either it's like dead, or it's just gonna need to charge several percent before it gives me signs of life. I always love to receive a dead phone on arrival, even if just the battery is discharged. So let's go into specifications while the device shows nothing. So let's start off with the display. This is a 1080p display. Now they like to call it Full HD Plus because it's not a 16:9 aspect ratio, but you can't bullshit your way out of that one. It's still a 1080p display. It is a AMOLED display, if I remember correctly. It is mentioned at the back right here. So Full HD Plus, flexible AMOLED, 120 Hz refresh rate. Why is it flexible? This isn't a foldable device, and this is glass, so I'm not sure where the flexible part is. 6.78 inch display. So that's basically the display right here. It's, if I could actually see it, it's a pretty decent display, all in all. But it's dead, so I can't see it. And here again, going back to the flashiness and kind of questionable design, we have a rubberized sides right here with what looks to be an actual carbon fiber on the sides, along inlaid around the screen as a bezel, which adds a decent chunk of a bezel. I have to say, like, looking at it, it doesn't seem like it's super thick, but if you actually like count the bezel right here, it is bigger than most phones come. So I think the the point where you have a little bit of rubber as a bezel along with carbon fiber just makes it feel like the bezels aren't as thick as they are. But this, from what I can guess, is about like 85% screen to body ratio. So this is, like I said, just a guess. I can't find the info about it. They don't mention it, and the GSM Arena, which usually has info about it, doesn't even have the phone in their database. So yeah. Now, continuing on, the device comes with 16 gigs of RAM. Don't get fooled by the... where was it? Oh, right here. 32 gigs of RAM. That's bullshit. And this is just an absolute lie. And I absolutely hate this because some people will buy this thinking that it's true. It's not. Writing that you have RAM plus ROM 32 gigs is bullshit, because if we just get rid of this portion that I just blacked out with my finger, it states that I have 32 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage out of the box, which we don't, because the device comes with 16 gigs of RAM and 16 is taken from storage. Therefore, you don't have 32 gigabytes of RAM and 500 of storage. You have either 16 and 512 or 32 and, well, minus 16 of storage. So it's not like you magically spawn 16 gigs of RAM out of thin air. It needs to come from somewhere. And that also takes me to this kind of point. 16 gigs is an actual RAM. So this is random access memory. And the other one is in storage. So these are labeled with two different names. So there is a reason why desktop PCs don't have terabytes of RAM. Because, you know, they can just pop in an M.2. And you could technically, I guess, convert that to RAM, but we don't do that because it's absolutely, I think, stupid. And the reason it's stupid is because M.2, even though, however, for instance, fast it is, as a storage that I just pointed out, selected at random, it is fast. But it's never designed to be as fast as RAM is and do what RAM is doing. So this is just a blatant lie that manufacturers do, and I just like to always shit as much as I can on this, just because I despise this kind of marketing, because it's basically what it is, and it's not even a good marketing because it's blatantly scamming users. So again, flashy design for no reason than just to be flashy, and telling you that you have 32 gigabytes of RAM is just a bullshit, because technically, with that logic, you know what? You can have 500 gigs of RAM and 12 gigs of storage. Same logic. We just increased the amount of RAM that you can have. Pointless? Yes. But so is the 16 additional gigs of storage as RAM pointless. This already has 16, which is plenty enough. It's double what Apple Macs gave you, like MacBooks gave you not too long ago with their laptops, and it's an absolute overkill for a phone. So, that being said, the device is still not booting up, unless there's another power button, which I am just stupid enough to not see. Now I'm gonna try holding power button and volume down. Maybe that will forcibly reboot it. So yeah, now moving out of this this kind of limbo of talking about RAM, let's move over to some other things. So we have this device. This device is being powered by a not Snapdragon. What am I saying? The MediaTek Dimensity 7050 processor. Well, another vibration. So not the most powerful processor. It's more of a mid-range processor. 512 gigabytes of storage, which I mentioned. It also apparently supports 5G connectivity. Jesus, now it's like I feel vibration now 3 times already. And still no sign of life. So yeah, a 5G connectivity, a 5000 mAh battery, a 32 megapixel selfie camera apparently, a 108 megapixel back camera, which there is another one which isn't specified, at least on the website that I'm looking where I can find any kind of specifications. So yeah, there we go. All in all, I don't know what to think about this device. It is overpriced if I consider it to pick up this device in current times, as it costs over $500 US, and it comes with a Dimensity 7050 processor. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because if you don't care about the flashiness, carbon fiber, and all that crap, you can pick up something like the CMF Phone 1, which I always will bring up because at the moment it is literally the best phone for everything that you want to do at any kind of price range, basically. So it costs less than half of this, or about half. It's about $200 US or so. That also includes tax, by the way. So CMF Phone 1 will get you a faster processor, being the Snapdragon 7300. Display will be an AMOLED display, 120 Hz refresh rate, so basically the same thing as here, but a smaller bezel. We get live. There it is. So yeah, we will get a better same display. Camera wise, it's about the same. Build wise, it's going to be kind of crappier, but what have you been doing for this 20 minutes here? Hello? How are you at 0% charge? Oh, and it's gone. Okay, so like I said, you'll have a crappier build quality with the CMF Phone 1, as it's not a rugged design. So it's going to be a plastic shell and frame, but it costs basically less than half of this. And the plastic case that's there, CMF as nothing, more precisely, that's the brand, which is still better than what this is branded, will allow you to buy swappable covers. So basically, like, the entire frame along with the thing comes off, and you can swap it out easily for other ones. They come with different colors and also have some like accessory little wheel right here that you can just swap something in. And for the money you save, you can buy yourself a lifetime supply of rugged cases for it, or lifetime supply of the plastic case that you can swap out for different colors whenever one gets damaged. So that's kind of what I would recommend over this one, as it will be just genuinely a faster device than this, and actually work, unlike this one. Oh, hello. 1%, nice. after charging for God knows how long. And this supposedly, I assume, supports 65 watt charging, which is plugged into a 65 watt charger, and not the one that comes provided, but this is enough time to basically get us to like 40% throughout the recording of this, and yet we have 1%. So anyway, like I said, very confusing device to me, very flashy for no reason, doesn't really deliver much outside of that. I don't know when it was released, maybe at the time of release this could have been a good device, but at the time that I'm having it in my hand, it's not. So yeah, that basically sums it up. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.